This guitar is an old friend of mine. I built this for the Summer NAMM show in 1999. It's the same chassis as the Eric Clapton guitar we showed you earlier. It does have binding on the fretboard. The inlay pattern's a little different. Headstock is bound with Ivoroid. And this was marketed as the Glory Custom. It is a solid body version of it. We can see we have the tummy cut here. This guitar was also available in a tuned semi-hollow version, although there was no F-hole or porthole like the Royal we just described. We have the trim. Back in these days, John Mann was making my bridges for me, and they're fabulous units. Until one day I ended up with 15 guitars ready to ship, and John couldn't supply me my parts. But they're really good bridges. I eventually got the parts, but I switched over to the Godot bridge, which we discussed earlier. Master volume, master tone control, 5-way switch. We have 3 Zodiac humbuckers, my humbuckers that I used a lot back in the late 90s and early 2000s. I remember a funny little story. Paul Smith and I have gotten to become acquainted, and he was very curious. Well, maybe we can edit that out of the tape. We have a bad jack or something, dirty pot or something. I'll fix that for you, man. But he was very curious about my intentions, because in 1998, when I first started showing, or was it 97, there really weren't many boutique builders out there at all. In fact, Paul was still considered a boutique builder, so I remember him and his attorney coming to check me out right away, and they looked over the guitars, and Paul went on to lend me a hand. He's been very generous here and there over the years, and I really tip my hat to him and his accomplishments. He helped open the marketplace for guys like me. We're contemporaries. Back when he was getting started, here's just a little story for you. Please excuse the stories, but I read an article about this kid up in Baltimore, Maryland, Paul Reed Smith, who built guitars. A friend of mine showed me the article and had a picture of one of his guitars in it. This was back in 1984, something like that. Guy came running in my shop. Terry, there's a guy up in Maryland. It looks like he's building guitars that are just like yours. I said, really? He shows me the article. I was like, well, that is similar. And it looked beautiful. I was building very similar guitars. Parallel development. We had never met each other. So I called the guy, very nice guy, and was, talking shop with him. And at that time, he hadn't had the molds made for his humbucking, coils to wind his pickups. He asked me if I had any used or broken Gibson humbuckers I could send him. I remember I sent him a huge box of broken humbuckers. It was like broken humbuckers that I'd tossed in a box for 15 years or something. And then I met him all those years later. We got together. This guitar may have been there at the time, but he remembered the box of humbuckers. Just dinners I've ever had. It was just really great. It was, here's for the box of pickups, Terry. He went on to tell me that they were in a real tight place, and he really appreciated the fact that I was able to send him these broken pickups. So, hey, it was a great dinner. NAMM Show 99, Glory Custom, black trans flame maple top with the now familiar mahogany neck and body, and power shell inlays. And that gave me a chance to mention my buddy Paul Smith. So there you have it.